Before you spend all your money that you saved for college, these are the real essentials that you will actually need to be prepared for college this year. Hi guys, it's me Michelda, and I'll be sharing all of my tips to make sure that we all have a smooth transition back to school this fall. So let's not waste any time and get straight into this video. The first category would obviously be technology. Technology is so important because obviously it's what you're going to be using for all your homework and all your classwork this year. So having something that's good, durable, and not going to break down on you is very important. There's the whole laptop or iPad debate, but if you were to ask me, I would say it depends on your major. Laptops are much more expensive than iPads, but for good reason. Laptops are really durable. There's softwares that a lot of majors, say you're a computer science major, there are going to be softwares that you may not be able to get on certain iPads. So major is definitely something to take into consideration. On the other hand, with an iPad, it's great for things like note-taking, doing research, annotating, highlighting. Very good for breaking down notes and to understand certain materials deeper. I've heard that a lot of professors don't like seeing computers or laptops a lot of the time when they're teaching lectures. So having an iPad is just really easy to have something to be able to lay flat on a surface. So again, it depends on your major, your professor, just certain things like that are things that you should take into consideration. The next thing I would recommend is a laptop cover or an iPad cover. It's just easier to have something to protect the outside of your very expensive device and not have something stupid happen that could have been prevented. The next thing that I would recommend is definitely a good pair of headphones. Headphones are so good for studying, just making sure that you can block out other sounds, noise canceling. That's just going to be helpful for you and the people who are around you. You don't want cheap headphones that'll leak, but a good, sturdy, durable pair of headphones that can last you throughout the whole semester, the whole year really. It's really helpful for studying, if you're walking around campus, if you're just trying to block out any noise, it's very helpful. Also, if you're just lounging around your dorm and you don't want loud music blasting, then you can just throw on some pair of headphones and do whatever you want. Getting into listening to music in your dorm, I would recommend a good speaker. Being that friend who brings the speaker, you're automatically an elite friend. The last thing I would recommend for technology is definitely a power strip. Power strips and extension cords are really helpful because you don't always know where the outlets are going to be in your room. It's helpful to just change your room around and not have to worry about where you can plug things in. The next category is school supplies. For this category, it also all depends on your major. Some things you will need, some things you won't need. It also depends on your professor. The first thing that I would recommend is a good tote bag or backpack. Totes are super easy because when you don't want to carry around all that stuff, you can just have a little tote, throw in the books that you need, and go to class. Backpacks are really durable, so I think a balance between both is great. Things you can also add is notebooks, pens, pencils, highlighters, or calculators. Again, it's not that common anymore that you're gonna get like paper assignments as much as like digital assignments now, but just having those things on backup is definitely a smart choice because you never know. The next thing that I would recommend are some comfy pairs of shoes. Sometimes when you're walking around the dorm, obviously you don't want like mangled slippers all the time. Like sometimes you just want cozy loungewear. So things like Crocs or slides, Birkenstocks, just comfy shoes that you can throw on whether you need to go to the store, do a little run. Those are all things that are just super cute and just easy to throw on and go about your business. Another pair of shoe that I would recommend is a nice essential shoe that can go with everything. Whether that's a plain white shoe or a neutral colored shoe, something that you just don't have to think about it matching, you just throw it on and you can just go straight to class. Because on those days when you're running late, throw on a pair of shoes that you don't even have to think about, go to class. Now for clothing, I will always recommend for college students just simple sets that you can throw on and walk out the door. Sets always just help make you look so put together and so cute, and they're just easy to throw on and walk out. Whether you want matching sets or you can mix and match with other sets, that's up to you. Just something that's cohesive and goes together well easily and saves you so much time getting ready in the morning is gonna be perfect for you. Another pair of clothing that I would recommend are game day clothes. especially if you go to schools that have like big school spirit. It's great to have just cute game day clothes that match your school colors, skirts, shorts, anything, and just get so fun and creative with it. This clothing essential is really, really important, and I would say to have good professional clothing. You never know when you're gonna need professional clothing. Obviously, if you work internships, like that's something you can expect, but I feel like people don't expect to get asked to go to things. You'll need something to present yourself, and having the right clothes to present yourself is amazing. You don't want to be sitting there and being like, oh my god, I left all like my casual button-up, slacks and everything, like I left those all at home. Like, no, you want to be prepared to have something classy and professional just in case. A tip that I would give everyone is to make sure that you're thinking about the season that you'll be in school for. If you're going to school on the West Coast and you're from the East Coast and you think, oh yeah, it starts off warm over here and then it's probably gonna drop and like get cold, and then you get over to the West Coast and the coldest that it gets is 60 degrees and now all you have is coats and sweaters, you're gonna regret that. So make sure that you're thinking about when you'll be there for. And vice versa, if you're on the West Coast and you're going to the East Coast or just anywhere up north that's cold, yeah, it's gonna be warm when you first get there, but when you're deeper into the semester and it's below freezing, you want to be prepared. Also, using things like breaks, the ends of semesters, holidays to swap out your wardrobe is very smart, and it can cut back on the clutter. Another thing that you're going to need to be prepared for is the showering system. Some shower supplies that I would recommend is a good shower caddy, good shower shoes, and a good shower robe. Now, a lot of people just take towels to college, and that's fine, but sometimes I think like in an emergency, you never know what could happen, and if you have to run out somewhere, you would probably be more comfortable in a robe than a towel because there's so much risk that a towel could just fall right off, but it's all up to your preference. Another thing that I would recommend you have is some sort of first aid kit. You'll never know what you could possibly get hit with, especially living in a dorm. It's so easy for things to travel around from person to person because you're all living together, and it's really hard to avoid getting sick unless you come prepared. Some first aid things that I would recommend are pain relievers, electrolytes, vitamin C, allergy medicine, cold and flu medicine, tea, Theraflu, Vicks, hydrogen peroxide, rubbing alcohol, heating pads, band-aids, and hand sanitizer. Again, keep in mind whatever remedies you use to heal yourself, bring those. They may not be on that list, but you know yourself best, so whatever you can use, bring that. Another thing you'll need is good cleaning supplies, so things like Lysol, any type of cleaning bacterial spray, or Clorox, bleach, anything like that to just disinfect your area, especially when you're just moving into your dorm room. It's better to know that you yourself have handled all the deep cleaning before you get settled in that room. Okay, a little rapid fire of the dorm supplies you'll need. So some of the dorm supplies that you'll need are a mini fridge, a Brita, a personal water bottle, an electric kettle or water heater, a coffee maker, a microwave if not provided, a mattress topper, good room lighting like fairy lights, LED lights, or a lamp, good cozy bedding. You're gonna want slim hangers, a shoe rack, and good under the bed storage. You're gonna also want a mini vacuum, a Swiffer, or a broom, just anything to keep your dorm floors clean if it's not already provided by your dorm. You're gonna want an air purifier and a personal fan. You're gonna want a candle warmer or an essential oil diffuser. These are much easier to have than actual candles because those are fire hazards and they're not gonna want flammable things in your dorm. You're also gonna wanna get a small vanity mirror, something for getting ready. You're gonna need it on the days when you want to look put together. It's very helpful, and also having a full body mirror on your door is also very helpful. Make your dorm as personal to you as you possibly can. Have fun with it. Make it cozy because this is going to be where you're coming back after stressful days, and you just want to make it as relaxing as possible. You want to make sure that it's functional so that it's not getting cluttered very quickly. The last thing you'll need are extra necessities that people don't really talk about a lot, but you're definitely going to need them. You're going to want an umbrella or a poncho, portable cart for groceries. Sometimes you're not always going to have a car and you might have to take public transportation, and it's very helpful to have a bag to just throw your materials in and go. You're going to want to bring a suitcase. I feel like a lot of people kind of forget that about like trips and stuff. You're also going to want an eye mask for sleeping. Sometimes if your roommate is up studying or something, helps block out any light, and it honestly helps you go to sleep so so much quicker. Another thing that you'll want is scissors. I know it kind of sounds like kind of random. Having scissors more so for if you need to cut open a package, cut open like a bag of food or something like that, you will need scissors. The last extra necessity that I would recommend is definitely a lint roller. You have black pants on and there's just like lint all over your pants. It just helps you in your confidence knowing that you're not walking around looking crazy. So those are all the things that I have on my list is extra essentials, and everything on this list is going to vary from person to person. It's going to vary from major, just the things, your preferences, what you like. This is just like a template of what you can use, but you know yourself best. Sometimes the living space, you know, that'll limit what you can and can't bring. But good luck to everyone who's going to college in the fall. I am going to college as a freshman this year, and I'm very excited. And honestly, when you're prepared, there shouldn't be anything for us to be nervous about. We got this, and good luck to everybody, and